Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 7 of the F1 2006 Championship Edition Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Monaco Grand Prix. Yes, the jewel in the Formula 1 crown. It's the one they all want to win. It's also the one that I've got to do on a controller. So this is going to be interesting today. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live, I believe, over the weekend from, it was obviously Spain, I can remember. Would highly recommend going back and checking it out. It has left us in a very, very interesting position in the championship. Michael Schumacher still leads the way, but there is now just 6 points covering our top 4 in the table. We're still on 19 points, just behind Juan Pablo Montoya, whose brutal consistency has actually seen him now within a race victory of championship leader Michael Schumacher. But as always, we need to try and get back on form this weekend. Hopefully we can just finish this race, of course, is always the top priority here. And maybe, just maybe, we can score some points as well. Quickly though, before we get into this video, I want to thank all of the names you see on your screen. Without their continued support of the channel, none of the work we do here would be possible. And if you want to get your name featured on this list, you can click the join button or click the Patreon link down in my description below and support the channel from just £1 a month. You will also get access to weekly updates about everything going on behind the scenes, and also occasionally some early previews on videos. So yeah, a massive thank you to my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters, and let's get back to the video. Well, I'm hoping, of course, this is going to be the first Monaco Grand Prix I do that isn't in a backmarker car. That hopefully the responsiveness is going to help me out this weekend. However, yeah, this one, I think we're just going to have to try and, obviously, I mean, it's Monaco, isn't it? We're just going to have to really try and qualify well and basically just spend 24 laps trying not to hit a wall. But how that'll pan out will probably depend on how well we qualify here. The AI are pretty good over one lap, a bit like Barcelona. But I wouldn't complain if we did get a pole position. I think I've accidentally just done a Michael Schumacher there through Rascasse. Don't hit the wall as well for Anthony Noakes. Yeah, the extra precision of the front end, the responsiveness, I think will both help and hinder here. Just because I feel like I'm going to turn in too early at a wall at some point.
Welcome to Monte Carlo for Saturday's 1-hour qualifying session. We're about to get underway, and with the tight streets and twisting nature of this circuit, it's likely to be an extremely busy 15 minutes.
Well, heading out then into Q1, really just want to try and get through these first couple of sessions nice and simply. But again, this is Monaco, so nothing is all too simple around this venue. We've got a Midland just in front of me. Whoa! That was aggressive by me. I will hold up my hand and admit that one was probably a little bit over-aggressive considering we're a minute into Q1. Right, here we go then. First lap in Q1 about to begin. We've got quite a lot of cars out on the circuit though, so everyone is just trying to spot a gap around each other. But let's see what we can do. Probably left a lot of time on the table through turn 1. I miss the sound of V8 engines going through the tunnel here at Monaco, or even better than that, some V10s would be nice. Those bollards every time we go through there scare me, because they make a horrible sound, but it's really not the end of the world. Big lift as you go through to back. You certainly haven't got the grip like you do in a modern Formula 1 car. It's those kind of corners where you notice the difference. And as we make our way in through Rascasse and Anthony Noakes, don't do a Michael Schumacher this time.
He's made quite an impact with that lap.
Damn it, man. Damn it. Now we are under a lot of pressure. Well, heading back out then with 6 minutes left on the clock. Michael Schumacher currently fastest on a 16.5. I reckon, yeah, if we get a lap hooked up, we can match that. Oh, we've got a Ferrari then, just starting a lap in front of me. But yeah, apparently I've got to be way more careful through that final corner than I'd ever realised here, as we got another car heading back out. This one's a Toro Rosso. Oh, come on, we've got to be better than that. That's a load of time lost immediately at T1. Oh, when will this Toro Rosso move, man? Come on, we're on a lap. Let's see how much quicker we are still through some parts of the track than the AI. They don't often do very, very slow out laps on this game. Don't see he's going to try and come back at me as well. We're not going to allow that to happen. The Arno Trulli then has got the top of the timings on a 1:16.2. It is Christian Albers on an 18.3. That is the one on the edge of the drop zone. But as we make our way in through the final couple of corners, Don't spin up out of the final turn. What is the lap time going to be?
He's done okay there, not bad at all.
A 16.6. That should be enough to see us into Q2, but only good enough for 6th place. Well, Christian Klein then... no, sorry, Scott Speed this week, of course, is the backmarker car that makes it into Q2. Looks like, yeah, Super Aguri very much struggling against everyone else. And Williams, once again, having a nightmare. Mark Webber out in Q1. Great. What is that by Kimi Räikkönen? We're both on an outlap. You don't need to let me by, buddy. And we've already lost a wheel again. But now we've come back out there. We've got 4 minutes left on the clock. I believe this gives us 1, maybe 2 laps to try and make our way into Q3. Suddenly, the pressure is on. Right, come on then. One more chance to prove ourselves here in Q2. We want to make it into Q3. We know we've got a good shot at getting a big result here. We have got an extra lap if we don't get this one nailed. But I really don't want to have to try and rely on it. Much tidier through turn 1. Almost in the inside wall there. So easy to do back in the day. That wall just sticks out a little bit in towards the final sector, but making our way through fairly clean and tidy. Get the car nice and straight on the exit.
He'll be thrilled with that. It was a fantastic lap, fastest in session 2.
Well, I got no idea how we've managed that, but that lap felt pretty hooked up, and a 1:14.2 there is us easily into Q3. Heading out then into Q3, I'm hoping we can get this done fairly tidy, because I want to try and take our best possible set of tyres into race day Sunday. However, I've also opted for a lot of fuel. Undercuts, they don't work back then. It is all about the overcut on this game, so let's see what we can do. Of course, I've actually done a Michael Schumacher, and we've been collected by a Renault. What is that? I've caused a roadblock. Well, I suppose we've got to give some credit to the Toyota mechanics this weekend, because they've had to do a lot of repairs on this car. But we'll go back out again then. We've only got 12 minutes left. Right, come on then. We've managed to not do a Michael Schumacher this time. We've got to try and get this done. It only takes 1 lap here for pole position on the Monaco streets. But will this be that lap? Looking down in towards turn 1, braking just after the gantry. Got to remember we've got heavy fuel in the car, so we almost fire it off into the outside wall. Giancarlo Fisichella goes to the top of the board. But will he stay there? So much understeer at the top of the hill. This is what you've got to be careful about when we get into the race. This effectively is how the car's going to handle early on in the Grand Prix. So we need to be really, really careful with it. Just down through the hairpin we'll go. Try and use second gear on the exit there. Really does allow you to carry some speed. And then through these next couple of corners, just try and keep it away from the walls. Make the track as wide as possible. That is how you find time here on the Monaco streets at the tunnel. Sunlight nowhere near as extreme as it is on other games. We almost running a bit deep into the chicane there. Just clean and tidy through. Now to back down 1 gear. Always get horrible FPS on the exit. Clearly, this game not particularly well optimized through that set of corners. And then hop over the chicane now. Just 2 more proper corners to go of the lap. Try and keep it again away from the walls, and then out of Anthony Noakes. Get the power down. Massa does a 1:16.6. What's the time we're going to do? Shortest run to the line. It's a 16.8. So we were a couple of tenths away there. Only good enough for P4. We've got to go for another lap. Montoya now goes fastest. So everyone is pretty much around the same kind of times here. But that would be a fantastic lap time by JPM if he can stay there at the top of the table. 8 tenths up though in sector 1. That is perfect. But we've got some traffic. I'm prepared to risk it all at the moment. Down through to back. It's been a really, really well dialed in lap for a second time round. Oh, we've got this Honda though in the way. 7 tenths up in sector 2. What on earth is going on at the moment then? 2 more corners to go. We're going to potentially lose a little bit of time behind the Honda. So again, we try and keep it out the walls there. Finally, Jenson Button's going to get out my way, but up towards the line. Surely this is pole position. A 15.7. We storm through to the top of the timing screens.
So there we have it. From 10th to pole, the grid order looks like this. Great qualifying session. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure you have too. Looking at the grid lineup, There seems to be a number of intriguing battles waiting to be resolved on race day. We look forward to sharing it with you. Goodbye.
Raikkonen then a second away from his teammate there. That's pretty disappointing for the McLaren driver. Fisichella and Jarno Trulli setting identical times. And when you exclude myself there, 2nd through 7th, covered by 0.4 of a second. But we are on pole position for the 5th time this year. Let's try and make sure that we convert this one into our 2nd race victory.
Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix, where the fastest drivers in the world get to rub shoulders with the rich, the famous and the beautiful. The Monaco Grand Prix is the most famous and glamorous race on the Formula One calendar. The small principality first hosted a Grand Prix way back in 1929, before the official World Championship began. Formula One cars have now outgrown the tight confines of the Monaco streets, but it's still an amazing sight to see the best drivers in the world weaving their way between the barriers. A good grid position here is vital, as the tight street circuit makes overtaking very difficult indeed. Conditions are just about perfect here today. Clear skies and perfect temperatures on and off the track. The forecast is also good, and we expect it to stay like this for the whole race.
Well, I might have not been concentrating and accidentally skipped down the grid rundown order there, but yeah, we are on pole position then here in Monaco. However, trying to make sure we keep it clean and tidy is going to be massive today. Yeah, Juan Pablo Montoya though today, I think is going to be trying to apply some pressure there. He'll want to win in that McLaren. We've had 5 different winners in the first 6 Grand Prix. Also ignore the fact the AI literally drives you into the walls on this formation lap like that. Not interested at all in trying to have a dominant victory or pulling out 5 seconds in the first 3 laps. I just want to keep it out of the barriers here and try to get to the end in one piece. But if qualifying's anything to go by, that is going to be difficult. Just want to finish this race.
It seems like an age for the drivers waiting for the lights to signal the start of the race. We are racing!
Pretty happy with the start.
Well, so does Fisichella. Here come the drivers ploughing into the first corner. You're in front out of the first corner. Next is Montoya. Next is Michael Schumacher. Here comes the pack into turn 2. You're still leading. Next is Montoya. Next is Michael Schumacher.
Montoya then trying to have a look for a move down at turn 2 and turn 3, but we do hang on. Already building up a little bit of a gap over Michael Schumacher in P3. Of course, we desperately need to take points out of him in the championship, but rather staggeringly, everyone seems to have kept it clean and tidy on lap 1 there, which is very, very impressive. But yeah, immediately, I mean, we've got 24 laps here on a controller. We've just got to keep it out the walls as best as possible. Keep it out the walls, make the car as wide as possible, and see where that lands us by the end of this thing. We've got a lot of fuel, so we shouldn't need to worry too much about strategy either, unless we end up with some rain. What I love as well around this track is the fact that the tyres, because obviously you're going so slowly, they actually struggle to keep temperature as well. You'll find through some parts of the lap that the fronts are really, really down on where you would want them to be. But apparently James Allen has decided he's not bothered giving us a rundown, so I've got no idea whether anyone gained or lost. Well, we're already starting to build up a little bit of a gap over Juan Pablo Montoya, but I'm trying to make a conscious effort not to look at the laps here, at the gaps either. We've just got to avoid turning in too early. Just keep it precise. We have got a little bit of pace in the back pocket here. Ooh, very close to the wall through Larascas. See, it's just when you get those little spikes of power or those little kicks of understeer, that's when things get scary. Well, I'm hoping in the nicest way possible that we have the dullest race ever around the Monaco Grand Prix. First lap into the 115s. That one kind of came a little bit out of nowhere, but we'll take it. But I'm not going to try and worry to try and match it. I want to know at what point in this Grand Prix can we start counting the laps down. Is it from after we pit? Is it from now? Is it from the start?
You now lead the race. Montoya is second. Michael Schumacher third. Massa fourth. Alonso is fifth. Fisichella 6th, Trulli 7th, and Raikkonen is 8th.
I guess it's not a question of when can we start counting the laps down. I guess it's just really about not letting the concentration lapse, even for a second here. You've got no time to rest around this venue, but we are still building the gap up. We've got oil down, someone's gone. Where on earth is this going to be though? I don't want to take any risk with it. Bet not. I think there it was. I think that's us navigated it. I want to say. Yeah, there we go. That's fine then. Happy to throw away a couple of seconds to not risk that. No! Great. What is that?
There's been an incident at turn 2.
Of course the pilot.
It's Montoya! His race is over today, and he's not happy with that. He got involved in that scrape as well. It looks like he's got away scot-free.
I love that. You run slightly wide, it gives you a penalty, and just immediately the car slows down when you're trying to turn in. I don't know how many cars we've taken out. There is debris everywhere, but we are out of the Monaco Grand Prix.
Another historic race concludes here at Monaco. It's always a very special occasion, and this year has been no exception. Drama at its highest. Street racing at its most challenging. It's an incredible place, and it's always a pleasure to be here on Grand Prix weekend. 2 weeks from now, and much earlier than in recent years, we'll do it all again at the home of the British Grand Prix, Silverstone. Silverstone could almost be considered the home GP of no less than 6 teams. McLaren, Renault, Williams, Honda, Red Bull and Midland F1 are all based in the UK, and you can be assured of a very special weekend of racing. We'll see you there in June. Thanks for joining us, take care and goodbye.
Well, yeah, I think we caused some utter carnage there, but as always, Michael Schumacher does get out of it. Luckily, he hasn't taken the race of victory today, so that championship gap will again open up, but not by too much there. But Montoya and Alonso joining myself and David Coulthard in the end of the GP there, and that means championship-wise, Fisichella now up into P2, but Michael Schumacher now on 43 points there. 24 points the gap now as we head towards our home Grand Prix. Rosberg gets his first points of the season as well, so good job done by him. But what a disaster that was for us. Renault now lead Ferrari by just 2 points. We've been jumped by Honda as well, but yeah, we'll be back probably either later on this weekend or early next week for our home Grand Prix. When am I going to get more luck on this game?